Absolutely demented audio out of a classroom discussion in a school in England between a teacher and two 13-year-old students. I say discussion, it wasn't really a discussion, was it? This was a full-on aggressive, hectoring, bullying, control freak, indoctrination struggle session in response to, and get this, enjoy this, the two 13-year-old female students refusing to reasonably accept that their classmate could identify as a cat. This is Rye College, a Church of England school, emphasising how this woke madness has poisoned every sector of our society. I'm just going to go ahead and play the whole thing without even breaking it up, because that's the best way of impressing on you the full horror of what happened. Again, one student said to the other, "How can you identify as a cat when you're a girl?" And this is how the teacher responded.
How dare you? You've just really upset someone. Saying things like should be in an asylum.
I didn't say that. I just said if they want to identify as a cat or something, then they're like genuinely unwell.
Then they've gone.
Yeah, they're crazy.
You were questioning their identity.
I wasn't a question. I was just saying about the gender. I didn't say anything about them.
But where did you get this idea from? There's only two genders.
I just think it's my opinion.
That is my opinion.
If I respect their opinion, can't they respect my opinion?
It is not an opinion.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
but
It's not an opinion you
There's
can
only two
have.
genders.
Loads of people think there's only two genders.
There's only a boy and a girl.
Literally. There's
Female,
no other
male.
private part. There's only two.
Gender is not linked to do with the
There is only two
parts that
genders.
you were born with. Gender is about how you identify, which is what I said right from the very beginning of the
No, I
lesson.
just don't agree with that. So why should I have to listen to something I don't agree with?
Biological sex, there is actually three biological sexes, because you can be born intersex. You can be born with male and female body parts or hormones.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, there's three. There's not 300.
Doesn't mean.
Yeah, there's three. I'm talking about biological sex. In terms of gender, there are lots of genders.
Well, I just
There is
don't agree with
transgender.
that.
There is agender, people
Yeah,
that
but there
don't
is
believe
that.
they have a gender at all.
Yeah, but you can't have that. You
No,
do
you
a
can't
gender.
have that. It's not a law.
Yeah, but
It's not a law, but it's our opinion. We just don't agree with it. We just think it's all just.
If you have a vagina, you're a girl. If you have a penis, you're a boy. That's
Yeah.
it.
But cisgender is not necessarily the way to be. You were talking about the fact that cisgender is the norm, that you identify with the gender of the sexual organs that you're born with,
Yeah.
or you're weird. That's
Yeah.
basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which is really despicable.
How? When it's.
If I
literally
called
true.
my mum right now, my mum would
Same.
feel my side.
If I called my mum, she'd say.
Well, that's very sad as well then.
How is it?
Loads of people agree with that. There's only a small majority of people who actually think that.
And why do you think we have so many problems in the world with homophobia?
Yeah, but
Because
that's
of
not
people
homophobia.
expressing-
that's not
That's
homophobia.
gender.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
it
fine
is.
with lesbians and gay people.
Same.
I've got nothing against them.
Yeah, same.
But gender there is a link between it, and you're
How?
saying that people
There
can't
isn't
change
No, they
who they want
can't.
to be.
They can't. Unless you
You're
get a
so
penis
wrong.
attached. No, I'm not.
You're confusing sex and gender.
No, I'm not though. Because if
Yes,
you have
you
a
are.
vagina, you're a girl. If you have a penis, you're a boy.
Yeah, you can't have a vagina and be a girl, but then
Gender-
Unless you
identify
get
as a cat.
separate, and even then,
Gender
because
is
you've got
about
those genes.
how you identity.
I just
How you
don't agree with
identify.
it.
Yeah,
But
just
it's
fine.
not an opinion
Yes,
that
it
we
is.
express in this
Yes,
school.
it is.
No, it's not. And if you don't like it, you need to go to a different school. So
I did go to a
I'm
different
reporting you to Miss Willis. You need to have a proper educational conversation about equality, diversity and
I ain't
inclusion.
doing it. My mum
Because
doesn't
I'm
let
not
me do
having that expressed in my lesson. When I'm teaching you about you can be who you want to be,
Everyone else
how
thinks
you
it.
identify is up to
So
you.
Everyone else thinks it. They just don't say it because then all
Yeah.
this happens.
Maybe because they're polite and maybe they're sensitive.
I haven't said anything in all of the lessons I've been in. It's just because they turned around and started saying something. So I said, how can you identify as a cat when you're a girl?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
they're now writing a statement. I would imagine that you'll be asked to write a statement as well.
We will.
Yeah, we will.
What this emphasises to me is that some, not all, but some of these teachers are not just reluctantly imparting this nonsense onto children because they've been told to do so. They're feverishly imposing it upon them like fully signed up members of the cult. Even if you heard the tone of this, the aggressive zeal, in a North Korean labour camp, you'd think it was over the top. To hear it come from the mouth of a teacher in England is downright chilling. And the way they're threatened with total ostracisation, which is known to be a potential source of trauma for many children who are ripped out of environments that they know, exposes the revolting vindictiveness at the core of this deranged ideology. Accept and embrace our demented dogma, or we'll turn your life upside down. And what happened to the teacher? Well, so far, absolutely nothing. The college has response was to regurgitate a pathetic commitment to
Inclusivity.
"We are committed to offering our pupils an inclusive education. Teachers endeavour to ensure that pupils' views are listened to and encourage them to ask questions and engage in discussion. Teachers also aim to answer questions sensitively and honestly." Listening to them with sensitivity, encouraging them to ask questions, engage in discussion. Literally none of that happened. The exact opposite happened. Forget the poor kids losing their place in the school. The only acceptable resolution to this is for the supposed teacher to lose her job immediately and never be allowed anywhere near the profession ever again. Get early access to videos, exclusive live streams, and personally DM me. You've seen how much I get demonetized all the time. Well, this is how you support me. By subscribing at pauljosephwatson.locals.com. Please click the link in the description.